weather's changed. We had a front yesterday, pouring rain in the morning. It's changed, it's cooled down. Temperature probably dropped 20 degrees. So I'm thinking that this morning these dogs are pretty raring to go. I'm all ready, and I think we're gonna get on the bear this morning.
You probably let her in there.
Wait, he told me let your dog in. I said, there's two things you don't do in life. Don't mess with another man's woman or his dog.
There you go. I let you have a woman. I had a
It's day 2, and Gus and the houndsmen head into the first bait site of the day to check the trail camera to see if any good bears may have visited throughout the night.
There's a big bear on this bait. Big bear on this bait. And that's the coolest thing. We said 6 days in New Jersey, had some monster bear there, but they're not coming to bait. They're nocturnal this time of year. And the great thing here is that you're on them, they're here, and now you're going to turn the dogs loose, and that's going to get them up on their feet, and hopefully we can get a bow shot at them today. Dogs are having a hard time picking up this bear track. We looked around and realized there was a drainage ditch that was filled with water. There's a good chance that bear had crossed that. So we had to grab a couple of the dogs and get them to the other side of the water. Taking my jacket off, get ready to go swimming. Released the dogs off that bait pile, and we kind of searched that block pretty good. They didn't come up with nothing, so we're thinking this bear might have crossed the road, and he crossed this ditch and it's just filled with water, so they might have lost the scent. They didn't pick it up right from here. They just let the dogs go on the other side. Hopefully they pick up a scent before he gets out the other side of this block. The reports we're getting is that this is a pretty bad bear and he's swatting the dogs off. And like I said, I've never done this before, and it could take several hours to get this bear bayed or treed, or he'll just walk off. But he's swatting at them dogs, so hope he doesn't hurt any of them and comes our way. I'm starting to realize with this hound hunting, things can change really quick. And with the hounds in a dangerous situation, it's time to move in and see if we can get this bear on the ground. Well, I think the dog got that bear bayed or treed, and that's where I got my fancy bow case, but we're gonna be crawling through some briars and stuff getting in there. Once we got to this bear, I realized it was not a bear that I wanted to shoot. There were plenty of people who were willing to take this bear. Listen, none of this meat goes to waste. Everybody there has a tag to hunt bear, and you know what? I knew that if I didn't take it, one of the other guys was going to do it. The guys make a great shot on this bear. And although it wasn't me pulling the trigger, it was an absolute awesome experience to be a part of. This is an old world thing. It's a tradition that's been done here since the 1800s. And unless you crawl through this stuff to do this and understand that they do remove some bears, they eat everything they kill, and the amount of work and time that goes into it, any effort getting through these briars, this is no joke. You can't really understand what this is till you've done it. And you know, I'm glad to take part in this and be part of this tradition down here in North Carolina. This bear ran through some of the nastiest brush that I've ever been through. As you could tell from my hands and face, this stuff was brutal. I wonder why I bought this briar-proof clothing. For a day or so, I wasn't sure why, but today I'm sure, man. Instead of calling it quits for the day, there's still plenty of daylight, so we head to a fresh bait site and start the dogs again. And I thought this last bear brought me through some thick stuff. I had no idea what was in store for me, and yes, we did get on a really nice boar, just not the boar I had in mind.
It's getting really late in the afternoon, and we've been hunting hard, and it's getting really close to dark, and we think the dogs are treed, and we go into woods, and it's really thick, and we're crawling and stuff, pulling off our hats and everything else. We're trying to get in. About 300 yards from the road. And we finally get in there, we see something black, and which we thought it was a bear. We thought they had treated the bear, but then we found out that it was on the ground. We thought that the bear was bayed under some briars and all, so really couldn't see nothing. So we did finally see a little block of him, get a little bit closer, and all of a sudden, bam, his 400-pound hog comes out.
Although it wasn't the bear that we were after, I was still up for the challenge. We move in and try to get a clean bow shot.
Gus made a really good shot. It was really tough to get an arrow through all those vines and briars and stuff, but he done a really good job. It was a tough hunt, but Gus is a tough man.
Good job, young man.
Man, that was some thick stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. You guys weren't lying how tough it's going to be to hunt in this stuff, man. Holy cow, man.
We're on a bear hunt here in North Carolina. We got on a bear this morning, and I decided the past bear was a little small, but it was just so exciting to be here with the dogs. Someone did take the bear. You know, the dogs deserve it. They did a lot of work. They have a 2-week season right now, and they have an earlier season that's 1 week. So they try to get as many bear out as they possibly can. And again, the bear meat is great table fare. But this afternoon, we thought we were on a big bear. We got in here and it wound up being a huge hog. And they asked me if I wanted to take it with my bow, and I did. And the dogs did all the work, but I got to tell you something. This is some of the thickest cover I've ever had to come through, where you're on hands and knees going through this. We'll give a shout out to Dan's Clothing here, because you're coming through the briars. This stuff really does protect you. Not much on your hands or your face, but it does on your body. Just an exciting hunt, man. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Glad you got it.
So once we get back to camp, it's time to break out the outdoor edge knives and get this animal processed. You know, it was just a cool experience, and to be able to harvest a big boar like that and then have the cooperation of all the guys there processing the meat with me, it was just such a rewarding experience. You realize how much everybody appreciated what we had just done, and that none of this meat was going to go to waste.
As daylight breaks on Monday morning, the guys waste no time and get an early start to Gus's last day of bear hunting.
Basically what they try to do here is hit these bait sites, check the trail cams and figure out where a decent bear is hit the night before, so that the dogs can get a fresh scent and get on them. This is a stand. This is a bait pile that we checked the other day and ran the dogs, but we never caught up with the bear. He was there the night before. But there's a bunch of different bait sites, so we're going to keep checking. Problem we got is we have a real good bear on the camera. He was at the bait last night, but there's a sow and 2 cubs, and they're older cubs, but they're going to put off a lot of scent, and they were here last. They were here at 5:30 this morning, and there's a refuge on one side of this, and the problem is that that big bear could have went right back in that refuge, and that these dogs will start running that sow and those cubs, and that's not what we want. So we're sitting in the truck trying to come up with a plan on this big bear. We get the word that one of the guys actually spotted a big bear going into a block of timber. Bird in the hand, I guess, or bear in the hand in this situation. That's a bear that's treed. Got a young man here that shot at him. I never got the opportunity, but that's probably a bear I would have passed. I don't know if he hit him or not. I don't think he did, but we'll see. It's pretty exciting watching these dogs work, though. You know, they got huge bears down here in North Carolina, but it's just like any place else. There's also their share of smaller ones, and for a young man like that to get a shot at a bear like that, and like I said, nothing goes to waste. Every piece of meat is eaten. Pretty exciting to watch him shoot.
Sweet.
Nice bear, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, it's always a lot easier when you're doing a bear recovery. They got a 4-wheeler come in here and they take some machetes and cut their way in. And this is just a way of life down here, and people eat the bear meat. This is a great hunt. It's exciting, the adrenaline rush, and they took some bears today. Unfortunately, it wasn't anything I wanted, but I wanted to be part of this, and I did get to take a great hog, so this was a hell of a trip.
Like I said, I didn't get to pull the trigger on the bear, but that was my call. The opportunities were there. It's just I went to North Carolina with a certain size bear in mind, a certain caliber of bear that I wanted. I've just never been one of those guys to shoot something just for the sake of shooting it. I wanted to make sure it was the right animal to take, and unfortunately for that hog, he found himself in the wrong block of timber that day. But hey, I'm headed home with some great hog meat and some awesome memories. Like I said in the beginning of the show, hound hunting can get a bad rap, but until you experience it for yourself, you'll never realize what a special hunt this really is.